hearing news about certain states trying to pass laws where it's going to be a felony if you're houseless, if you're or homeless. I don't know what the political correct term is. To me, that's insanity. What are we doing as a nation? I know it's a privilege to have a house, but at the same breath, I think we all as Americans are one paycheck away from being placed in a bad predicament. Right now, if you look around, if you look online, or if you talk to people outside the internet, the job market right now is harsh. I've heard of people who lost their jobs or been laid off, and a year and a half later, they're still looking. We're in a bad economic time right now. The cost of living is going up. The cost of apartments is going up. And before this, the rise in being homeless was on the rise. So now, after the job market is kind of crashing, after unemployment is going up, what are people supposed to do? I want to say, let me bring this up real quick. So I want to say one of the states were Tennessee. Says it outlaws sleeping in metro or state properties. If caught, it's a Class E felony with up to a $3,000 fine and 6 years in a penitentiary. I'm going to say that again. Being homeless in the state of Tennessee, if you get caught sleeping in certain areas, state property or a metro, it's a Class E felony, fined up to $3,000 and 6 years in a penitentiary. Now, my engineer is a former person, I want to say in the Army. Did you serve in the Army?
Air Force.
My apologies, in the Air Force. What is the, do you know the statistics of people in the Army or Air Force that when they finish have a problem with being housed? Because I know that number is kind of big.
I don't know the percentage. I don't know what the actual number is, but I know it's a big problem.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around, in what world is it okay for certain states to say, hey, you fall on hard times, we're going to find... First, it's insanity. How are you going to find a houseless person? If they don't have money for rent, where are they going to pay a $3,000 fine from? Just think about that. If they don't have money to pay for rent, how are they going to pay a $3,000 fine? Then you're talking about putting them in jail in 6 years. What does that sound like? Go ahead, I'll say it with you guys. Sounds like slavery. In the 13th Amendment, it says slavery is outlawed except, keyword except, if you're found guilty of a crime. Now here's another way that we can enslave people, no matter your race, no matter if you're black, white, or whatever. If you're houseless in a certain state, we can put you in jail for 6 years and work you and then put a fine on you. I just thought that was insanity. I had to bring that to the pod. I don't know where as a country, I don't know if they do that in other parts of the world, but for this to be a quote unquote first world developed nation, it's crazy the things that we're criminalizing in our nation and how it's going to affect future generations. We're not seeing it now, but in 5, 10 to 20 years, our kids, the next generation, is going to have to deal with that. You might have somebody in your family that got laid off that fell on hard times. I'm not trying to be funny, fall asleep in the park and now they got a felony. What are we doing? What are we doing as a nation where we're criminalizing being houseless? I just thought that's insane.